I am totally into that music. Hello, welcome to our Friday live stream where we'll be doing some live website reviews. Before we get into that, I'm just going to highlight one of our brand new blog posts that was published just yesterday. It's what to do if your Google ranking drops. So if you've had a Google ranking drop in the last, let's say, 4 to 8 weeks, where we've had some algorithm updates within Google, you can read all about the possible causes behind those within this blog post. It goes into details about what the possible causes are, but also gives you some actionable tips on what you might be able to do to reverse those algorithm drops in the future. Reverse the drop, or just prepare yourself to be well ranked in future. Within that, you'll also see some links to some videos from our channel, as well as some previous live streams. And there's one from myself and our head of SEO, Andy Tuxford, in which we go through pretty much the same as the content, but with our usual lightheartedness mixed into it as well. But today I'm going to be joined by Bevan. Bevan, welcome to the stream.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Where are you watching from today, Bevan? And where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from sunny Barcelona, actually. So, yes.
I would much rather be in Barcelona right now, I can tell you.
My air conditioning's on. Fine.
What's the weather like right now?
It is about 27, but tomorrow's going to be about 30, 32. So, yes, it's getting warmer, but off to the beach I'll go. So, it's
tasty.
Bad in the UK from what I've heard, so I think I get away with it.
It's been all right, actually. It's been all right. It's been better. It's normally quite terrible, so it is. But yeah, love Barcelona. I'd love to know where everybody's watching us from today. So where are you watching from? We got Jacob. Nick. Nick, where are you watching us from today? I'd love to know. Tom, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I saw you got a recent promotion, so congratulations on that. I think I can't remember his promotion, or you joined as an advisor. Can't remember. Tell us in the chat. I'd love to know. And yeah, cool. So we're going to be diving into some live website reviews. We've got Phil joining us from a rainy but steamy post-Olympic Tokyo. Love Tokyo. Spent like a couple of weeks there, but a few years ago. Incredible city. It's exactly like you see it in the animes. It's weird. It's just the most beautiful place. Deepesh is here as well. We've got Italia. Si, finalmente. I don't know who that. I don't know who he is. I'd like to know his actual name rather than a fitness coach on demand. I'm sure you have a name. Dimmi. And then Deepesh is in London. Fantastic. I wonder how warm it is in London right now, especially with all of that pollution keeping all of the heat inside. Cool, but yeah, great to see everyone. Wicked. So we'll dive into these site reviews. But before we do, I just want to highlight that, yes, we do give a copy away of how to get to the top of Google. Or I was joking about it on Instagram earlier. It was called How to Get to the Top of Bing. Remember Bing? Well, yeah, we've got a copy of this to give away. All you have to do to win a copy of this is to use the hashtag Ninja in the chat. So I've got a little thing to show you on here. So there we go. Add Ninja to your comment for the opportunity to win a book. And then at the very end, I will be using this fantastic giveaway thing right here. Ta-da! I'll be using this to just pull out whoever used Ninja in the chat to win a free copy of this book. So I can send it to you in paperback, or I can send it to you as a Kindle or audiobook if you prefer. Just let me know and I'll make that happen. So hashtag Ninja. Nick is being smart already. Nick, our moderator, is not using the hashtag Ninja because the other week he got accidentally picked as a winner. Fantastic. Cool. So let's dive into things. Bevan, are you okay screen sharing? And I'll add your screen to this. I'll add your screen in just a sec. Not seeing it just yet. Where is it?
Sorry, 1 second. There we go.
Yeah, no worries.
Can you see?
Fab.
This is not a website we're reviewing. This is just a placeholder for the moment.
Go for it.
Not improve the detection, can you, Dale?
I'm flattered. I really am. Am I blushing?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab my coffee. You keep going.
Sure. Okay. I'll get into things.
Rip this site apart, please.
Let's see if we can find anything actually before we go on to the website sites we're reviewing. Well, I'll point out what I look for on the website and why this is a good website. This is not just me trying to give compliments to Exposure Ninja. I'm not that kind of person. But what we do have is we've got a phone number up there, and we've got the main thing I'd like to highlight, apart from going specific, is we've got a really good focus on call to actions. And this is the biggest mistake I see, Dale, when I go through other people's websites, is a lack of focus on those main call to actions. People get very involved in the information they want to be getting across. They get involved in all these other things, but the main purpose of your website is to get people to convert as a lead. And I think sometimes people forget that because they're like, oh, I'm giving so much information, I've got so much great internal links, and these things are all important, but they all come second to having the highest possible conversion rate. And I think that's one thing that we do very well on our site. We've got these bright yellow buttons, and also we've got this that's actually staying up there in that header up there that's going to allow me to navigate to that call to action no matter where I am on the website. We've got strong social proof there, which is really important. People, if you're probably on our webinar, you know what Exposure Ninja is all about. You know, we've written books, you know, we've got very successful podcasts. But if you've never heard of Exposure Ninja before, there's no way of really knowing that business is any good, really. And there's a lot of digital marketing agencies out there which are less than ideal. You know, it's easy to set up a site and you could just be like 2 people, 1 person, and you could call yourself a digital marketing consultant. Before you know it, you're running a digital marketing agency. We're a company of over 100 people, and we've got specialist teams in all these areas. So it's the onus is on us to describe what we're all about, and these bars are really important throughout all the websites I review. And again, we've got these call to actions, and that's the main takeaway, as I said before, strong call to actions throughout the website. So it all
goodness, the development team behind this. Congratulations, and superb work.
Exceptional. They should get a rise. I'll pass it on to Tim. So without any further ado, let's go into our websites for today. So we've got 4 websites. What I want to do, I've also brought up some data with regards to how some of these websites are ranking. So we're going to have a look at positioning. We're going to be using a tool called SE Ranking to do so, like SEMrush. Some of you may know, we just use SE Ranking as our tool of preference here. And then we'll also be going through some Moz data with a couple of these, looking at how their backlink structure is set up. So first of all, we've got this website here, PAN, Professional, oh, sorry, I've accidentally clicked on a button. Let me just go back there. PAN, Professional Associations Research Network. So what we want to do is discuss this, and maybe it's actually quite nice coming off the back of the Exposure Ninja website here, is we can compare and contrast what the initial impressions were with the Ian website versus what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I'd love to see in the chat, right? Tell me right now, or drop your emojis. So if you are a member, you'll be able to use your Tim emojis of wow or ooh or But yeah, let me know in the chat. Is this an ooh website or is this a wow website? Do you like it? Yes. Do you not like it? No. Tell me in the chat. And if you've got the Tim emojis, fantastic.
Is blue your favorite color or not? So let's go through this here. You can see we've got a lot of the same color here. We've got a non-sticky menu bar just to start with. If you go back over to the end of the website, you'll see that menu bar remains up at the top there. And this is really great because it's going to now allow me to navigate to wherever I want, no matter where I am on the website. And therefore, if you're looking at some of those health metrics of the website, whether you're looking at the bounce rate, the number of pages being viewed when I or some of the other the consultancy team members have a look through people's Google Analytics. That's one of those key metrics we're looking for in terms of the health of the website, how many pages are viewed by each user, and what the bounce rate is. And if we're able to navigate through to all the different pages, that's going to encourage people to go through. And we don't have that here. So once we're into the thick of the website, we're into the thick of the website. I think someone just commented a really good point. You're not sure. Nick, it was Nick. Nick, there we go. Coming up with a good comment there. It's not clear what they do. So how do we fix that problem? What we need is a couple of lines of text just explaining briefly what this business does as their overall services. I can see here, obviously, they're going into specifics of each one of those services they provide, which is great. But that could be further down the page. At the first thing, what we want to be doing, and the way I always describe this when I do my reviews, is someone could arrive at your website from anywhere, whether it's a PPC campaign, whether it's Google organic traffic, whether a friend sent them the link, whatever that may be. So it's the opportunity of the website on that above the fold. Above the fold just simply means if we scroll down on the website, it's the opportunity to introduce your business and let that person know, are they in the right place? Should they be clicking on that back button? And if you clearly define what your business is providing and you're not matching that, then there's no relationship to be had there anyway. So it's no loss. So we need to first of all introduce the business. And that second line of text, you want to be explaining why you're the best option. So first of all, is this the business can provide what I want? And second of all, why should it be that business that provides what I want? So that's what I'm looking for as soon as I arrive to this part of the website here above the fold. So I'm talking a big tea break there.
How are you feeling about this slider, Bevan?
Sliders. What I say with regards to sliders, and I am yet to hear anything different apart from no. I'm like, have you ever been on a website, sat here above the fold, leant back on your chair, and just waited for the slideshow to go through the different images, all the different text? I have never met anyone that's been like, yes, that's the first thing I do when I arrive at a website. I just sit there above the fold and let the slideshow flick through, or I flick through the slideshow. I don't know the history of slideshows above folds there. Maybe you do. I don't know why they are a thing. I think maybe if you're a website like Nike or Adidas and you've got some featured shoes or products, but that's more a product carousel. And obviously with the product carousel, you may have quite marketing style material, so it could potentially make sense there. Nick doesn't want to get started on sliders, so we know his opinion there. But yeah, it's really not something I'd recommend. And also, it's saying to me you can't really decide what you wanted above the fold, so you're going to cover lots of bases by having lots of different slideshows, and that shouldn't be the case. We should be really confidently introducing the business and the value proposition as soon as we arrive.
Okay, so the problem that this website is going through is that they're not getting enough sales. So if we look at it from a kind of like a lead gen sales point of view, what are the first kind of initial changes that you're going to make to this website, Bevan?
So going back to the exposure ninja example again, that was quite good. That was just a off chance I went through that. But it is ideal now. So as we scroll through the website, we can see this long image, which is behind in a very traditional WordPress style page, a bit dated in that design. But
what does it mean?
What does it mean exactly? So first of all, image sort of changes as we go through. It's not the ideal thing. Also, that's very painful. We've got this dots over that word, and that div cuts very close to that text there. So there's professionalism things on for sure. But the main thing is what we want to do is have a strong call to action throughout the website. On a homepage like this, it should be repeated at least 3, maybe even 4, maybe even 5 times. You've got a very long page, and that main call to action should be the first step that people take with your business. And I think sometimes people not expect me or expect us as the team to maybe come up with the strong call to actions, but particularly when we get clients come on, we will work with them to create those strong call to actions on their website. But I think one thing people don't really realize is how important their knowledge is with that as well, because they're going to have a really good understanding of their customer, their value proposition, and what on average is the first step that people want to be taking with that business. So I think that's really important as well, is making sure that you have a good understanding of that first step that people take. What are they looking for? Your average client, and I'm sure there's going to be a wide variety, but they're all going to have something in common for sure. And for that reason, what is really important is to have something there that is going to entice people to click and take that first step with you. And then that's the job of the website. Done. Once they're in contact with you, then it goes on to the ability of your team and your salespeople to be able to convert that lead. But up to this point here, the responsibility of the website is just to get that person in contact with the website.
I saw my events just saying with hashtag ask, which is not the right hashtag for this stream. Is for our AMA stream or for our webinars. But it's a good question. How many menus does this website have? So wow, too much. It does seem a little busy in the header area. I wouldn't say it's like too busy, but yeah, maybe perhaps you could narrow down the focus. I don't know if it's because of this whole like members area line there. I'm not sure. Like maybe you segment that off so it's not visible at that point. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe that would be best. But I did want to highlight another website, which I think actually my problem with this website and what I think could be hindering sales is that it looks like it was done in WordPress in like 2014, 15, and it's just not the ideal kind of like design you want to have today. Like if we built it as a kind of traffic and lead / sales orientated web development company, our designs are like completely conversion based. So when we build a website, so there's like the cloud, I could pick a whole bunch of examples, but there's like one example like Cloud Booking, which is a company that we work with. It's super clean, super elegant. It's got the kind of like SaaS, like system as software as a service
isn't it?
feel to it.
Straight to the point. That's one of my favorite things about the website that we built, and obviously we work with our clients to find out specifically what they want when we build a website. And I think here the team and based on, of course, what Cloud Booking were after was that really clean design. It's really, the information is so easily consumable. You know where you are on the website, and there's strong call to actions throughout. And you don't need a huge amount of information on the website. If you look at highly converting landing pages built off the back of a PPC campaign, it doesn't need to be a huge amount. It just needs to be the key points, again, that is enough to be like, wow, that's interesting to me. I want to take that first step and find out more, because people don't buy necessarily. And with this case, they don't. It's like booking a demo. So you don't have to give all the information enough that's going to be like, yes, I want to go ahead and purchase now. You just need to give enough information for people to take that first step. And I think that's really important to keep in mind with the designing of the websites as well.
Yeah, a lot of the time I find that pulling back on design is better than adding more. Like the old adage of like less is more. It applies to web design. Like, so you pull it back to just focus first on the copy. Like, what is the message you're trying to say? Can you say it in under 10 words? Like, keep it super simple, and then start to add that kind of like visibility. The design and the functionality on top of it. Because at the end of the day, it's a message you're trying to communicate with people, and not how many pretty buttons your website has, how many options it has for clicking through tabs and stuff like that. That's secondary. The one thing people need to know as soon as they get on your website is what you offer and how it benefits them directly. So I find this is like a really, really good website for that. Another website, I don't really know if they're still doing their thing anymore. Let's start. I quite like this website. I'm not sure if it's still designed the same way anymore. So I'll pop that up. But yeah, just super simple. It's not joking around, and it immediately tells you what they do. So they're an award-winning IT support in London. Helping you succeed through technology. It's very advertising kind of heading, but gives you the idea. Oh, fantastic to see that they're using live chat as well. But yeah, the design is simple. Really quickly to see. It's really quick to see what it is that they offer. Let's just zoom this out a little bit. These are their USPs: IT support in London, technology consultancy. That's what they're offering. How they can help me directly, and there's like a testimonial as well. So if I'm not sure like who it is I'm dealing with, I can see what their current clients are saying about them. And again, this design is just simplified, very short headings, just a couple of words. Just white everywhere. It's very, very, very simple. So I would think the same would. We've even got like a call to action here as well. So the main call to action for this website is generally like contact us or get like consultations about that. But that's for customers who are like super hot and ready to go. They already know they want an IT support company. They're trying to find one. And they're going to pick Netstar. I already decided I'm going to go with Netstar. But with this is like for a cold lead. So people who are like, they're looking around. I've got like 10 different windows open with 10 different IT support agencies. I'm not really sure what I'm getting into. This is like a cold lead pool that would just think like, okay, I need to know a bit more about cybersecurity. I'll download that since it's probably free. And then you start to get pulled into their sales funnel, and you think like, oh, I'm going to learn more about cybersecurity. And you also, in your mind, you don't realize it, you're starting to fall in love a little bit with Netstar because they're doing something really great. They're giving you something for free. And then that's how you pull them into that lead funnel, the sales funnel, which is the problem that PAN are working through right now.
I think that's content as well is really good off the back of informational blog content you've got. So particularly if people are searching for those high intent keywords and they're going through as such, then that's that's great. And of course, the more high intent search terms, the better. But if we're also getting a lot of informational search terms through blogs and articles we're writing, at that point, that person might not be ready to take the first step, but they're sure as hell going to be very interested in getting content such as downloadable ebooks and things like that. So that can really be hugely valuable in terms of having that off the back of other articles as well.
Yeah, no, just looking at if you scroll down, sorry, I've taken the thing off screen. So you've got those two CTAs that become a PAR member or log into your account. Now I understand why it might be designed like that, but people just landing on the page who haven't yet become a member, they're more likely going to be interested in, like, okay, what am I getting myself into? What is this offering me? Like, what are the benefits? And that login could be just tucked up in the right-hand corner of the main menu. Like, people who already are a member, they know where, after the first time they've logged in, will know exactly where the login page is. They'll go immediately to that
button. Not going to give up and it's too hard. I'm leaving. I can't find the login button. That's just not going to happen. You're really engaging with people that aren't members yet, that haven't discovered your business yet. I had a website the other week, a recruitment software that's quite unique in the way it's set up, and it had the same problem. Like, you could go through, and the main call to action was to log in at any point, and actually to sign up to become a member was free, but that wasn't made clear at any point. So it was like to see more information, how to log in, but at no point was the benefits of signing up, the fact it was free, the fact it would only take a few seconds was communicated. So that was one of the main things I highlighted in the review for that particular website.
The one thing I would just point out here is that if you are going to have to use two buttons on your website, if you have two call to actions, one for people who are arriving for the first time, and one for members, or one for people arriving for the first time and the other one, let's say this is the hot CTA, the hot, you got the warm lead, and then you could have like a cold lead CTA here. But if you do have to go down a double CTA route, you can just use a little color differentiation, if I can say that word, and just, request a demo is obviously the more important CTA here. So you could do the same thing with the PARN website, where they've got, let me just swap it over again, if I can find the PARN. There we go. So become a PARN member should be like, a completely different color to the login to the account one. And you could do away with the slider, simplify it, just have one core message. When people arrive on the page, this is what I want you to know about our company. This is the solution that we offer to you, not what we sell, but the solution, the thing that we help you with. And this is how you get to it via that button. So if I was looking to improve sales to that website, which is what they've asked us to look into, that would be the first thing I would look into, is like above the fold on the homepage. How do I make it as simple as possible? And make it, not a duplicate of Cloud Booking's website perhaps, but certainly a model on that.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Cool.
So what I also want to do is just quickly go into their ranking in terms of how they get more traffic, specifically through search engine optimization. So let's look over the last 12 months. What happened there? So we can see here this big drop off in terms of total traffic. So what we'll then do is we'll just have a look and we'll see if there's been a reduction in keywords between the months of February and March as well. There isn't. We'll just see. Actually, if we go through, we'll be able to see the ranking of those keywords. That would be very useful as well, because sometimes you may not lose the number of keywords you're ranking for. You may lose, a couple of ones that are in your top three, and I've seen websites that can lose just one or two of those because they've got some amazingly important keywords they're ranking highly for. It's almost like their whole business is dependent on that. So it was January and February. So let's just screen the total traffic off there as well. So it was between February and March. So let's have a look here. So you see there was a reduction. And that could be it. And this is part of the fun of SEO, if you would call it that, Dale, is trying to figure out what can cause the drop off in traffic. So we've had a look there at the total rankings between position 1 to 5. They had 29 there, and then we move on to March. They've got 22. So that could be it. Obviously, what we'd have to do is if this was a client, we'd be running into those reports. We'd be seeing exactly what keywords went down, how much traffic was bought through those specific keywords. But that's going to be really important in terms of trying to diagnose what happened. The main takeaway from here was, and again, I don't know this business, I haven't talked to them or really discovered exactly what their ideal customer is. But when I go through this data, one of the key things I'm looking at here is the CPC value of each one of these keywords is a really good indicator to me of the commercial intent behind the keywords. So if you've got keywords where people are ready to buy a product or a service, people obviously bid on those keywords. Ones where people aren't ready to buy a product and service back off the back of the keyword, they're going to have no cost per click associated with them. So here we can see the value of that traffic, and actually it's nicely graphed for us here. We can see the value of the traffic coming through to the website is only 88, and also we're seeing this drop here as well from 414 down to 94 in terms of US dollars per month, the value of that traffic. So that could lead as well to maybe the hint at the fact they lost ranking for one or two particularly high value keywords. So given this website needs to improve their SEO situation. So obviously there's all the things that refer to on-site SEO, titles, meta descriptions, the text, how the schema is set up, all of those things. But there's also the backlinks that come back into the website. And what I want to do here is just highlight something to you. So if we look at the number of backlinking domains, this is the number of sites that link through from other sites through into their site. They've got 433, and that gives them a domain authority score of 36 out of 100. What's a good or a bad domain authority score? I often get asked this, and my answer is always the same. It completely depends on the industry you're working in. If you are a plumber in Basingstoke, then your domain authority to achieve rank number 1 isn't going to be as high as if you wanted to be number 1 for, good example for us is an e-vape store, a very competitive market where you can't even run any PPC ads. People invest very heavily in SEO and organic optimization. Just as a side note, for people who don't know, it's not because Dan and I are particularly into e-cigarettes. We've just got a great case study of an e-cigarette brand we worked with in the past in the US. You can check out on our case studies, and we had a lot of success with them. So where these backlinks come back from is as important as the quantity. So I always scroll down to here. This is the quality of the websites, the domain authority of the websites of those sites that link back into this particular business. So here, what raises alarm bells for me is we've got a large number of backlinks, proportionally speaking, coming back from lower quality sites. We definitely don't want this. And it's not the case that every backlink you've got to have has got to be in the 80s, the 90s, even in the 70s. It's about trying to make sure we don't have too many lower quality ones. We really want at least 30 in terms of the domain authority of the site, and then other factors begin to get taken into account, the relevance of that site to the industry and all these other things. But this hints to me, and again, if I see this prior to talking to a business, one of the first questions I'll always be going through, I'll be like, what SEO work have you done in the past? And more often than not, they'll explain to me they had an agency they were spending £500 a month with that were getting 150 backlinks every month, and it's clearly been just poor quality backlink building, and sometimes that can be the cause. It may not always be the cause, but that's quite often what I find, and that's definitely not the strategy you'd ideally want to be taking with a business like this. You want to be going on quality and contextually relevant backlinks.
We just had a question in the live chat asking which tools we're using. We use a whole bunch, so we're not really kind of connected to just one. We do have a few offers that we're allowed to promote, which is like SE ranking is one of our main tools that we use within the SEO team, within pretty much all the teams. And you can try that for free for 21 days at bestninjatool.com. Yeah, it's got pretty much everything you could possibly need for like research into competitor research, backlink research, monitoring your keywords, doing some site auditing as well. It's a really useful tool. But we also do use Moz for some things. The reason being that, no one tool is like the perfect measure of everything. So it's better to use a bit of everything and take like an aggregate of that. So, just take all the data and think, okay, across all that data, I think this is probably the most likely case when it comes to what your competitors are doing or how valuable a backlink might be, for example. So yeah, you can use that for free at bestninjatool.com. By the way, if you are new here and you haven't seen us before, this is our live website review. We do every other Friday. If you want to be notified about our future webinars, or live streams, just make sure you do hit subscribe, whether you're on YouTube or following us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or even Twitter, where we're streaming now as well. That would be super. And if you haven't liked the stream so far, please do, because it helps tell YouTube that this video has been useful to you, which means it will be helpful to other business owners or marketing managers as well. Cool. About half an hour in, perhaps we move on to the next site, unless there's something else you want to cover.
No, that's what I wanted to cover here. This one, I didn't want to take too long. I think this was just an interesting example I was dealing with the other week, because the way I summarized it to this particular business owner was, I think they're just so close to hitting the mark here, so close, but they've missed it. And it'd be really interesting to know people's opinions in the comments here as well. But my opinion on the site, and I'm sure yours would be quite similar, is they've got a lot of the right things. They've got a lot of nice graphics, nice designs. They've got some reasonably good welcome text here. But at the same time, it's far too busy. We've got this up at the top here already. We've really got to think about that user experience when people come to the website. Where are they going? We do not have a sticky menu bar as well. And then as we scroll through, again, they've got this. But what I found interesting is with this particular business, again, I think they were just so close to hitting the mark, but not quite it. They've got different call to actions on each one of these divs. And I believe that, again, I haven't had an extensive conversation with this business, but I would imagine there is one main call to action that would be valuable for all the clients coming. So we've got different gated content and things. So here we've got registering for free access. Here we've got an
Nick's
innovation.
Asking, where's the CTA?
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got this one here. We can go to a scorecard. This one here is exploring the 5 keys. This one here is exploring the 10 steps. This one here,
oh, goodness.
Registering your place. So these are all, well, at least half of those were call to actions of sorts. But it was almost like they didn't know what call to action they wanted to focus on. And then for that reason, it was like, here's something for everybody. Someone's got to want one of these things. And that's not what we want to do. We really want to be confident in understanding what the value proposition of the business is and then what our clients want. And therefore, to do that, what we want to have is strong, concise call to actions throughout the website that are going to be consistent and in those contrasting colors as well. Here as well, this is what I found interesting. So as we spoke about on the Exposure Ninja site when we first came on this webinar, was the value of social proof and being able to show this business, it is legitimate. And this business has helped Google, it's helped Argos, it's helped the BBC. Could you want a better list of companies? This is the creme de la creme. And this is the very bottom piece of their homepage. Exactly what we want to be doing for that reason is be having this information at the very top. So people come on the website and they're like, wow, Google go to these people for advice. And Google isn't a company that outsources much, to be honest. So it's really, really important to think about that. And I just think this website was almost there, but not quite.
Yeah.
I think that's the main takeaway there.
I hear it. Can you imagine like Google outsourcing their SEO?
Yes.
Can you imagine them coming through onto our site? Oh, Exposure Ninja. Yeah, let's give our site SEO to them.
SEO for them, Dale. What are you on about? What we were. So that's this site here. So that's
so close to being right on it. That site.
Oh.
Like the brand, like the colors, the color usage is pretty decent. White space needs a bit of work, but there's plenty to like about it. But it's not quite there.
Exactly, completely. I think the branding is very good throughout the website as well. Clear brand guidelines were done prior to the build. Sometimes you can see that as you go through other websites. You're like, what is their color scheme? What are they trying to get at? But I think this will be really clear. So let's have a look at one of their service pages. I can't quite remember how that is, but obviously if you're reasonably interested, let's see. Expand. I don't know which is the best one. Expand away.
I don't even know what they're doing, what their website is about.
It
just hit me.
I don't know what they do. There, which I think is one of the problems. I think it's to do with improving the accessibility of software, apps, and websites for people with disabilities. So I believe if you create websites and you want it to work better for certain demographics, then they would be able to help you that. And I believe, I imagine that's a certification to say that this piece of software, can work with certain people. So it's a bit of a same story in terms of the service pages. So if we scroll up here, where is that call to action? What is that first step? Maybe I love this and I think this is the best description, and these people are clearly the ones that I want to do. We've just got to contact us, and contact us is what I describe as the weakest of the call to actions. It could be worse. You could have no call to action. But if you do have call to actions, contact us is the very, very bottom of that list.
The only way it could be worse is here's my postal address. Right? Yes, send me a letter, or here's my fax number.
Please send letters addressed to ... One other thing that could work really well, and we build it in a lot of the websites that we do, and this is true for the service pages and the home page as well, any page you want to convert off really, is actually embedding a form within the page itself. That's going to take one click away from someone. So of course, you still got to link it to that main call to action that you're wanting people to take. But you're actually therefore able to take that extra click out. People are able to see, like, they don't know what's going to happen when they click that, whatever that called, free consultation call. How much information am I going to give? Am I going to have to give a time? Am I going to have to give my email address, phone number, my position, the company, all these things? If we can just have a form and people can see that, oh grief, all I need to give is a phone number, email address, and my name, and they're going to get back in contact with me. That's 3 bits of information. I can do that within 30 seconds. Why not? And I think that's something to keep in mind in terms of forms in general, is to make them as short and concise as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unless you really, really have to have the information, don't ask for it. I mean, the only other way is you can do something called a 2-step opt-in, which is where you can kind of like ask for the first name and then have the email on the second like pop up. So you click, you enter your email address, then click send it to me. Let's see if that's a call to action. Then a pop up would open up and ask for a little bit more information. So it's like a delayed form. It's not just a big dump of form fields in front of you, so you feel more inclined to just, it's just one form field, I'll fill it in. But if you do stagger it out, you can ask for more information, but by default, don't ask for anything you don't need. And whenever we're looking at forms, I always start with, okay, what's the first thing we can take away? And then review it. Can we take it away again? And just keep taking away until you can't take anything away anymore.
Yeah, precisely. And I think we know that from our own forms, actually, that we've done exposure in during their own pages that we've built. So I think that's very much been trialed by doing it and seeing the results.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple of lead generation businesses. So now what I want to do is go through an e-commerce business. Okay. This is a really interesting brand, actually. I've been talking to the owner. When I talk to e-commerce businesses, the first thing I'm trying to find out, Dale, is, does anyone want to buy the product? That's the first thing, because sometimes people come to us and they're like, I've got X, Y, and Z. It's going to be a big success. And I'm like, it very well might be. I am not an expert in whatever industry it may be, whether it's jewelry, whether you're selling car parts, supplements, whatever it may be. So the first thing we need to assess is, do people want to purchase the product? So with this business, it was quite interesting, actually, because they sell primarily at the moment, quite exclusively at the moment, to jewelry retailers. So in store, they sell to those. So they've got that evidence to prove the fact the product is very successful and people like the products. We've got to tick there. And the second box we need to find out, Dale, is do people want to purchase off the website? Because sometimes you can have a great product, but the website may not explain that value proposition well enough for people to actually go ahead and purchase. And with that is, of course, a much better position to be in, because it's a lot cheaper to get your website rebuilt, get some branding done, get some new photos than it is to get a new product. So this business was really interesting because, and I have this mismatch quite often, is I'll do a review of a website, I'll send it away, and then I'll talk to the owner of the business, and they'll explain to me the backstory of the products, of how they're built, where the company's from, and my perception of the brand and the business changes hugely. And for that reason, if I'm going away after a chat with the owner, we're like, God, this is a really cool company, really great backstory, really high quality products, and that's not the impression I had before when I went on the website, that mismatch is something that needs to be solved, because people should be left with that same impression from just going through the homepage as close as possible as if you just talked to the owner of the business. And I think, again, going back to the exposure into thing, I think that's why we've got a video of Tim. I'm not necessarily saying that an e-commerce store should have a video of the owner on, but I think we try and get that very clear, and we get that passion across, and we get what we're all about very clearly across to those potential clients. So with this e-commerce store, I think we're going to have to say it again. Banners, slideshows, no.
Sliders, gotta go. Sorry,
Gotta
not
go.
interested.
Gotta go. So 2020, even if that's being generous. So then, as we scroll through this website here, what we've got is we've got a little bit of text. We've got little bits of information here, some nice images of the products, but we're really lacking. This could be any old store, to be honest. In terms of the way it's set up at the moment, it's very easy to set up Shopify sites, and in this day and age, just put some products there that are maybe cheap from China, charge a large markup, and away you go. I mean, it's not that easy, but there's a lot of people doing it. And the point is, what we want to make, and this is not the case at all with this brand. These are really high quality products, so we've really got to go the extra mile to make that really clear to the people that come to the website. So what we need to really do in this particular case of the website is really make it clear why these products are very high quality. There is the About Us page where we can go through and we can read all about the business. But the truth is, as we know from looking at GA data, people don't often go to the About Us page. So what we want to be doing on the homepage is being able to get that information across. Here, there's some really interesting information about Mark, who's the owner, and it's all about the passion he had behind creating this jewelry. And it goes into some great information here. But people aren't coming to this page, are they? What we really need to be doing is getting that across in a much easier, better way on the homepage itself, so people know that this is where they should be buying from.
So just having a few thoughts. We've got a few questions coming up. So someone's asking, how can you showcase your products without sliders? That's a really good question. But I mean, you look at some of the best e-commerce stores, they do really, really good like storytelling, and that's something I actually wanted to cover just now. So I'm going to just swap over the screen to a recommendation for a purchase for everyone who's like a business owner or a marketing manager. There's a book called Building a Story Brand, which is a really short book, and it might cover some of the basics of marketing, the basics of advertising you may already know, but you need to tell a story with your brand or with your website. You need to be explaining to people the benefits that your products give to people, and you can do it. It helps you to craft that story for your brand really simply, and then create your landing pages around that brand story, or you create your homepage around that brand story, create your adverts around that brand story. Basically, simplification is really important. So yeah, I highly recommend that that book. And then I wanted to show like an e-commerce store that I've looked at for a lot over the last, like, I would say like 8-9 years, quite a while since I was a backpacker. This is like, their website changed a lot over the years, and it's super simple. They're called Tortuga. They sell backpacks for like nomadic people or people who travel a lot with electronics. But this is how you go with like this is one way in which you can go really simple with your landing page and still be an e-commerce store. Like, you can go the route of like showing sliders and different things, but essentially you want people to go to one area in which that you can kind of show them the best example of what your product does or what your products are available. So you come onto here, and their story brand, if you want to call it that, their pitch is pack light and go further. So it's telling you the solution of the solution of from buying their product isn't it's lightweight and durable. It's not benefits. It's pack lighter and go further. And yeah, this is the homepage. It just kind of gives you like, it allows you to picture yourself in the same position. Like, oh, that could be me with the backpack. That could be me packing it, and so on. But yeah, I think that's a really like elegant way of getting people to a landing page, and then you can have a look at like, okay, which ones apply to me: large carry-on, medium carry-on, expandable carry-on, and so on. And then the product pages are super simple, so you can go this route. You can just, what you try to do is get people through to the product pages. The home page is just like the beginning, where you then have to take like a fork in the road. Where am I going to go next? you could just get people to through to the category pages and then show them the products themselves. And I find that this is like a really elegant way of doing it. It's just one really long column filled with different shots. And this is like, what is it, $269. It's not as expensive as some of the jewelry that we might be seeing here, and I have so many different shots of like how it looks like, what it looks like from different angles, different scenarios, different settings, what it looks like on this person, what it looks like, on the side. It goes into so much detail. There's so many images here. I could be scrolling forever. And then there's a video at the end as well, which is not complicated to do. Whip out your iPhone or whichever Android phone you're using and just do a recording of the ring. Just show people what it looks like in different lights, things like that. I really like this, but they're not alone. Well, that's another site I wanted to show. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Tortuga did that one. Okay, so this is another site selling backpacks. I'm not 100% happy with the right-hand side with how like frequently bought together. That's very messy, but the product page itself is super simple. Like it's just a whole bunch of like photos. When you're doing like product shots like this, you could use a slider on a product page. That's fine, but on your homepage, it's not the way to go because you need to get people to the products themselves.
Yeah.
So you can be like super elegant with your storytelling when you get people on the product pages. And then, again, super simple, hidden pocket, structured design, only a few words, summarize what it has. If you want to list the features, this is the way to do it. But of course, the best way is like storytelling is through like solution, telling people the solutions. So again, not complicated photos, very simple text. I really like this. It's really elegant. And you could do the same with kind of any product. And again, finish off with a video showing the rings in different lights or whatever product it is that you sell. And there's even like Instagram photos. There's like customer reviews as well. Fantastic. That saves people doing all of that informational research offsite, keeps them on your website instead. And we've got, it just goes on and on. Reviews at the bottom. This is a fantastic, fantastic service page.
Ben just
I would say like
Ben mentioned the video should be at the top. I'd agree with that. I would say that that's where I'd put that video. It's probably a little bit more valuable than the photos, as long as you can make that all sizing and all. I think that's actually a fair point there.
Yeah, agreed. So if you've got like a $1,225 ring,
this is
not a ring, sorry, bracelet.
Yeah, this is a bracelet, and I think you highlighted the point as well. And this is why this business, regardless of the fact that the jewelry is really good quality, and then when people see it in real life, it sells really well. They are very much struggling to get conversions off the website, and this is one thing I would definitely highlight here. So here we effectively have for a $1,225 bracelet. These are just color photos. That's all. We have one image. I think on Amazon, most £5 products would have at least 2 or 3 images. So it's almost, I'm going to be honest, I think Mark will be fine with me saying this. I just mentioned that we might go through his website today, and he was like, please be as honest as you want. And I think this is almost insulting to his potential clients that he's only put one image of his product up there, and he's like, it's almost saying like that's enough, and it's not enough. What we want to do is have this image in lots of different angles, lots of different directions, lots of different lights. We want to have people wearing it, and again, there's a whole story behind the brand, and it's about creating a brand image and how people, what is the demographic of the person that you want wearing it? What are they doing when they're wearing it? What is that story? And with some businesses, that's less important. If you're buying spares for your car, you don't have to tell so much of a brand story. But if you're selling jewelry with this cost point, it's a huge deal being able to tell that story and get, as Nick just mentioned there, get people wearing them, get them in different situations. And also,
I was just going to say, like, I do think like the kind of person that's going to be purchasing this, perhaps they don't think twice about spending $1,000, plus on jewelry. They'll just think, oh, well, that looks cool. I want that, because they can afford to just think in that impulsive kind of way. But there will be some people who'll be like building up to that purchase, and they'll want to be like, they'll want to know more. this particular person is going to know their client pretty well. So, I would start like listing out like what kind of things that people ask me when I'm trying to, when they're making a purchase. Can I get that kind of information onto the site already, whether that's somebody suggested a 360 degree product showcase. There are lots of things you can do.
Yeah, completely. It's just something I've noticed here. So let's say I click on this one. I don't know if this will be captured on the recording. It flicks through all the products one at a time. It's sort of, we've got to pick one on the opposite side, and it goes wish, 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 wish. I mean,
my goodness,
no, that's a no from me. With the photos, again, description is not adequate for costing of the product and how cool the product is. This is I would never be trusted with writing descriptions of products. I am not a copywriter.
It's
my
a
degree,
very special skill.
I did my degree in astrophysics to avoid having to do large amounts of writing. It's mainly numbers. I am the least creative person ever. So for that reason, you would not want me. I would probably just be listing the technical description of it. But there are copywriters out there that are
listing
able
out
to.
the atomic principles of diamonds.
Yeah. Made out of very durable metal. And there's going to be people there that are going to write a really, brilliant description, and that's what needs to be done here as well. Also, when you look at it on the white version, this is the white enamel one, which is the default one. It looks like it's just with a hole in it. I think that's because I fear that this isn't actually, in terms of the enamel. Sorry, I got there in the end. They may just be photoshopped images as well, which isn't ideal either. Yeah. So then it makes like an obviously perfect white, which is as perfect as the background.
It's made of teeth.
Exactly. So yeah, I think there's a lot of work to be done, and also just to highlight with this company, I think we're looking very much at their social media marketing here. Occasional posts of their product. Which is nice enough. But if we just look at the engagement levels we're getting at the moment, 12, 6, 22, this isn't really enough. We need to be much more defined in terms of the strategy which is being taken place here, don't we? We need to figure out exactly what is the brand identity, what posts are we doing. We also need to be selling the product as well. And I think this is going to be hugely important if we're looking at running paid ads on Instagram. Paid ads on Instagram and Facebook are very much dependent on the organic social media quality, because as you said before, for many people, yes, they may go through and purchase it straight away if they've got that sort of money, good for them. But for many other people, it's going to be something that they're going to build up to. They really like it. They're going to wait till that next paycheck. They're going to wait till it's their birthday and ask their friends or family to buy it for them. And we really need to be nurturing that person. And the way that we nurture this person, and maybe with a B2B lead, maybe you nurture them through sending them emails once a week about news in their industry. How do we nurture a lead on a jewelry brand? We get them to follow your Instagram, we get interesting, nice posts, and we build up that loyalty. So I think that is going to be critical in terms of having success in the paid ads, is having a much better organic social media.
I've got another example of another like a jewelry company doing really good things on Instagram called Fenton and Co. So I was looking at their website the other day, looking at like how how they're earning traffic to the website, how they've made a really good like business success in the last like 12 months plus. And yeah, they've got like a really huge following, 39,000. That's going to keep going up. I'd be surprised if it doesn't hit like 50 to 75,000 by the end of the year. It's going really well. What they're doing is like what I think they're doing a little bit differently. They're giving like a close shots of the jewelry, so that the engagement on these is pretty high. So if I like this one, for example, it's got 1,730 like likes on it. I think that's going to be partially like down to boosting the post. So they're going to be spend a little advertising money on getting that image in front of people. So perhaps given the value of some of the products that the website that we were just looking at are trying to sell, they might want to approach doing the same thing. But they're giving really like close-up images of for the most part, like really close up, but also including like people within it as well. So this is like common within like Instagram, where people kind of feel included within the community. Like you can drop a hashtag and say like, oh, I'm what's this company called now? Fenton. So I'm like I'm a Fenton fan or something. If I use the hashtag on my image, then Fenton can come along and you reuse that image again. So kind of it draws people in. So you can have that kind of aspirational marketing of like, oh, I want to be part of that community, that clique as well. So you could do something like that. I don't know if the website, the e-com you were just looking at are doing the same thing, but I would have a look at this and see like what's the strategy they're using, what can we not only replicate but do better than this company, especially for the price tags involved as well.
And
you got some,
we
like, really close images.
I was going to say, when we do our campaigns as well, and I think this is something people don't really realize, when we're setting up, let's say, pay-per-click campaigns for the likes of Facebook and Instagram, we have like an organic social media marketing team. We've got the pay-per-click team. They're two separate teams that specialize in exactly what they do. But in terms of when we're building that strategy out to start with, and actually as it continues, those things are completely interweaved, and that's the key to having success with the clients that we do really well with, is where we're able to say, right, we're doing these posts as paid ads, we're doing these as the organic posting, and therefore based on that, what's the story? What if we run this particular ad set and then people land on the page? Is that matching that expectations in terms of what that ad was? So we really need to make sure that both the paid ad strategy and the organic strategy are interwoven.
Absolutely. So, these are some of the ads that are coming up. I don't think I've connected the audio. Can you hear that audio? No. It's not crucial, so that's fine. Oh, it's blasting in my ear, so thank goodness for that. But yeah, you can look at like this is the brand story is like the passion involved with ring giving that they would normally have. They're bought for a purpose. That this is a great ad for this store, and this is what the website you were looking at could be doing as well. So they say it passionately, personally, pulling all of the heartstrings. Again, talking about like that brand story. What is it you're selling? You're not selling a ring. You're selling something that makes somebody feel special. You're making somebody feel glamorous, perhaps. You're not just selling a ring on its own. So yeah, that's what I would consider they look into as well. Free insured delivery. That's a good USP too. And there's that social proof as well with those 5-star ratings. So yeah. I realized that we're coming to the end of Freddie's going on about Fentonites. And Nick is Fenton. I've forgotten all about that. Fenton. Cool. Was there any more from that site that you'd like to show us, or is we've only got like 3 minutes left? I don't know if there's anything else you want to cover.
No, I think that's the main things that I wanted to go through. I think given the time, I think those were, there was another site I was going to look into backlinks and all of that, but that's another 15-minute job. So I think maybe we'll save that for another time.
If you've got the time, I've got the time too. If you want to keep going, it's up to you.
Quick look. So this is a lawyer based in Canada. This is a great site, actually. I think we've done a review for them in the past, and I know this this list does follow Exposure Ninja.
Right. Sorry, I've got a game I want to play. I want people to tell me in the chat what that website sells. Having only looked at it for like 3 to 5 seconds on the screen, what does that website offer? I'll give it a few seconds. I'm not seeing anything in the chat just yet. So let's wait and see. But I don't think everybody's going to be able to tell you. So let's add it back onto the stream. So right.
There we go.
Nick.
Yeah, but Nick.
Well, you probably would know. You've seen it already. So law. Okay, cool. So a lawyer. But the reason I want to do that is because there's something called a 3 or 5 second test where you like flash up a screen and then ask people what that website was trying to sell you. And I really do not like this let us work for you thing. Like, I don't know what you do. Like, if I took away that law thing, if I took away the law like brand at the top there, and I just saw a guy in a suit and it said "Let us work for you," I wouldn't know if you were like a financer or if you worked in banking, a lawyer. It could be anything. So I think you've got to like work harder with that heading. Book a free consultation, good CTA, but like you got to tell us like I'm better than everybody else at winning cases, or I'll get you off that I don't know, criminal charge or something like that. I think they could be a bit bolder with that heading.
One thing I do like is with this business is it's important as well, because this man is an individual, a private solicitor, as opposed to a company. And I think sometimes when I deal with businesses, they quite often try and pretend to be bigger businesses than they are, without actually appreciating being smaller is quite often actually your UPS against these big companies. So the fact I can see the person, if I go onto a big company, it's not going to be, the lawyer they will assign to me will probably be decided in the very final stages, after I've had a couple of chats. So for this reason, having that image of that bloke is great to see there. Then we've got product buckets. I would say this website's a little bit busy with all these things spinning around, and also it looks like my laptop is struggling with the anything. So I would get rid of that, and also it's a law-based company, so we want to keep things on the boring, professional, simple side. Let's not have things spinning around here. Let's keep this as simple as possible. We've got this social proof, which is all the qualifications, which are really important to see there. And then as we scroll through the website, we've got the information we'd expect to be having. I wouldn't say this is a bad website by any means. We've got a free consultation there, but I would say reiterate some of the points from the original first few websites we went on. We want to be having much more of a focus on those call to actions. This looks like it's tucked off to the right. Also, it's kind of annoyingly not positioned in the center. We want for a law website, and this is interesting when we build our websites and that initial consultation, we're like, what is that overall vibe and feeling of the website we want to be getting across? And that's going to be dictated very often by the industry. So if you're selling kids' birthday parties, obviously the way you set that website up and the colors and how it interacts is going to be different than a law website. And for our lead generation websites, for instance, we work off a set template, but that set template is very adaptable. So off that set template, it's mainly the conversion rate elements that we're focusing on. But in terms of the actual design, look and feel, it can completely depend on the individual website. And in this case, what we're looking for is that professionalism and those strong call to actions. So the thing I wanted to highlight with this business, because I know I suppose a year or so ago maybe, is some of their SEO. So while this does look okay in terms of their SEO, I know they definitely want to be ranking for more keywords than what they're ranking for at the moment. And also looking through some of the main keywords that provide their traffic. These, as far as I'm aware, I have never worked in criminal law, nor been in trouble for any of the offences we can see here. You'll be pleased to hear.
Where is this going, Bevan?
So what we need to be making sure is that we're focusing on information terms, because some of these seem informational based as opposed to people actually looking for a lawyer. So what we need to be doing, and particularly this is actually sorted by the amount of traffic that comes through to the website based on these specific terms. So for that reason, what we want to be doing is going after those terms where people are looking for those services. I think this is something you would probably just research to find out if there's bad people on your street, as far as I'm aware. So that's what I'd like to focus on there. And that leads me to the second point that I'm trying to make here with regards to the SEO, is those words are going to be much more competitive to rank for than some of these words. So though it's good to see, okay, great, we are seeing that rise in traffic, but is it traffic that's actually ready to use your services and part with their money for those law services from just this, look, they're not at the moment. So how do we do that? How do we compete for more competitive keywords? What we need to be doing, and from me just researching this site ahead of this video, what we need to be doing is working on improving this domain authority. They work over the Toronto area. Toronto is a big city with a lot of criminals and a lot of people that probably need representing on court. And for that reason,
the people who visit Toronto are not going to be saying, not going to be happy to hear you say there's loads of criminals in Toronto.
Suppose Ninja has no opinion on Toronto, just to put that on the side. That's my personal no. So if we look at what we're looking at here, a domain authority of 13 is just not going to be high enough to compete against big law firms there. So as well as looking at the domain authority, just 18 backlinks, and I imagine some of these might be okay. Some of them are okay. It's not like we saw on that other website with a load of low quality backlinks, but 18 is just not enough. So this business, what they need to do, as well as focusing on some of those minor points that we've brought up in there, it needs a proper SEO strategy, and of that SEO strategy, a large proportion of that does need to be focused on building those backlinks, building that domain authority. And as that domain authority grows, it's going to be able to compete for those more valuable keywords instead of those keywords that look quite irrelevant at the moment. So that would be my takeaway for this law business based in Toronto.
If you wouldn't mind just hopping back into SE ranking, which if you're watching, you'd like to try SE ranking, you can do so for free for 21 days by going to bestninjatool.com. If you could you sort that by position?
Yes, I can. Let's do that.
I'd like to see what they're ranking first for.
It's my new HD camera, Dale, which is, I think, slowing my internet down.
It looks superb. I've never seen you look so fantastic.
Okay.
It's gone the reverse. Let's try again.
One more click. Death by
the way, if you
penalty.
By the way, if you have enjoyed what you've seen today, you can just hit like down below. It would really help us to show this video to more people. And if you're new here and would like to see future webinars or live streams, you can do so by hitting subscribe or follow if you're watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Position. So examples of dangerous driving. Interesting from like a local SEO point of view, where if you are searching for examples, perhaps was I driving dangerously? Maybe I need to double check. And you might think about, I need a lawyer. But some of these other ones, I'm not sure whether they're going to be bringing in like kind of like colder traffic, that informational search at the very beginning of the sales funnel or the search funnel, sexual interference definition. Perhaps that's very, 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 very early on. I would be wanting to like increase our local SEO of like not only appearing for lawyer Ontario or Toronto or whatever. Work on your local SEO, work on your Google My Business. So Nick highlighted in the chat that their Google My Business has got some good reviews on there. That's super important for local SEO. So if you want your business to rank locally for search queries or keywords, you have to have that Google My Business presence and bring in those reviews because they're helpful. It's only part of the puzzle, but it's an important one. I think there's way more in terms of like search visibility they need to work on at the very beginning of the funnel, like, definitions of stuff, but also later on the end of funnel, I need a lawyer now. I'm sitting in jail. Can someone come help me?
Yeah, it can be. I think, if I remember correctly from my conversation, it was a while back, there's all the sub areas of Toronto that are going to be related to local searches as well. And I can't see any of those here that are going to be ideal. So yeah, I think that though this business has got a lot of the basics in place, what they need to do now is properly identify, first of all, keyword research, what do we want to rank for, on-site SEO, off-site SEO, building backlinks, and away you go.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I really think that website has a lot of potential to it. As you say, like there's a lot of like content creation, link building that can happen there that could really take that website places. Cool. So thanks everyone for joining. We're going to do the giveaway now. If you want to get a copy of How to Get to Top of Google sent to your house or your workplace or wherever you may be, you're going to have to use the hashtag Ninja in the chat. You've got about 10 seconds left to do it before I hit the big draw button. Good luck to everyone. If you do win, please do contact me via Twitter at Dale Davies _me. I'll talk with you about how to get it posted too. So enter hashtag Ninja. You got 5 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good luck, everyone.
So exciting. The cat went.
It's going to get more exciting in a second. Just wait.
It's the cat.
Glitter. Okay. So a fitness coach on demand, who I believe is in Italia. So congratulazione. I can get you a book somehow, even though I'm not sure if we're using Amazon.it, but I can get it to you. So we'll figure something out. So just contact me at Dale Davies _me, and I'll get that copy sent to you. Thanks everyone for joining us, and I am contactable by that thing. I was going to just put something up on the screen. So here you go. If you want to contact me, this is my address. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I shall see you next Friday for an AMA, an Ask Me Anything live stream. Bye.